Hey, hi everyone, welcome back to EtherChannel channel. I hope everyone doing well and good. Let's start the last topic of the switching. That is we have EtherChannel. Okay, so we'll be going to discuss in this session. We'll be going to discuss about what is the EtherChannel, why we need the EtherChannels, and how the it's working. And as per switching, we have this is the last topic. We have learned STP as well as VLAN, VTP, and the final topic will be here. We'll be going to discussing Ether channel, and this is the very popular and each and every time we'll be getting the question on Ether channel. Not for here, we will be getting for the Cisco exam as well. So let's focus on this topic and will be going to be discuss here. And if you don't know a background of the ether channel, why it is or how it is, or if you don't have the idea, don't worry, we'll be going to discuss in here. So let's start. Before going to ether channel, let me give the one to our example what we have. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible right now. There are two protocol we are using while configuring the ether channel. First is port link aggregation, and second one is the it's port link aggregation. And you can configure if you have the multiple switches and you want to be configure two ports or port of range in particular channel, that could be possible using the ether channel concept. Now what is the benefit of the ether channel? If I am using the multiple switch, let's take example. If I am using the multiple switch and I want to add link into the single channel, that should be possible using the ether channel protocol. So I will explain him now. What benefit will be getting using the ether channel? You will get fault tolerance. If in case ether channels is fail, traffic port will be going to automatically second port without delaying something. That means the packet flow it's going to continuously. You will get the load balancing as well. It doesn't matter how many port is up. If in case one port is down, two port is down, other port will be taking initiative to send and receive the traffic at the simultaneously time. So that is benefit will get into the ether channel as well. Avoid loop, because it is going to be create group. We are creating logical group for the 8 links. What are the physical group we have? For what are the physical link we have? We'll be creating one logical group and will definitely get the bandwidth and will be not getting any type of the loops. So before going to criteria, let me explain some scenario. Let's take example. I have two switch which is Cisco non-Cisco, and I have connected 8 links here or the all the ports. Let's take example this port having all 100 Mbps full duplex. Now let's come up the scenario. What is STP? STP, what we are using STP? If I have multiple links, one will be going to be forward state, other will be going to blocking state. Now if you are removing STP, which is designated port, non-designated port, and the traffic will be going to flow only one port, which is election happening and which is defined by the switch. I don't want to be go with the BPDU message how the election is happening. If you have any question, please go on through my STP video. Now what? Now my requirement is here. I don't want to block any port. All ports should be sending and receive the traffic. That's what we are using the ether channel. Let's take example. All port having 100 Mbps, and let's take example. This is 8 link. How much I will be getting? 800 Mbps speed. That means I'll be creating logical group. If I am using the ether channel, all ports should be going to send and receive the traffic. What is the depend upon their mode? I'll be discussing mode in shortly, but my requirement is here. I want create the group and all the port traffic should be they are communicating to each other, and I don't want to any blocking state. And what will happen if in case this port is going to down? All 7 port will be taking the initiative to send the traffic, but the traffic will be coming under how much? 700 Mbps. So that is the creating of the logical group between Cisco and non-Cisco devices. But before configuring Ether channel, what is criteria we need to use? They should have same duplex, same speed. If you know about, I will show you into how to checking the duplex setting or how we'll be checking the port status. Now, the same which is we need to be, they should have same VLAN configuration and switch port mode should be having that is access or trunk. They should have the same things. This is all criteria we need while configuring the Ether channel. Okay. Now we'll coming this point. It can be manually as well as dynamically. Manually, that means you will be configure them to as a on mode. If you want to configure dynamically, that is port aggregation and link aggregation. Ether channel also called as port aggregation and link aggregation. If someone is asking into the exam or interview link aggregation, it should be you need to tell what is the Ether channel and these things. Now let's take example. What is PGP? What is LSCP? Now let's take example. I have this is Cisco switch and another also Cisco, right? In this scenario, we'll be using port aggregation. That means PAGP is the Cisco proprietary, means it is basically made for the only Cisco switches. That should be if you have the device or one device is the Cisco, another device it should be Cisco, then you can use port aggregation protocol. If what will happen if it is Cisco and another is non-Cisco, then we should use link aggregation protocol. That means for Cisco proprietary we are using PGP and non-Cisco product we are using LCP protocol, and they do have the multiple modes that is will be going to discuss about next slide. But here we need to be focused on here only which type of the they have Cisco. If you have the Cisco property, go to PGP. If you have Cisco and non-Cisco devices, you can use the LSCP. That doesn't mean LSCP is not providing Cisco. It is advanced. LSCP will be using Cisco to non-Cisco. Now we'll be discussing about the mode. If you heard about the 1 minute guys, sorry. Okay. If you heard about the mode, we'll be going to discuss about this one. Now while configuration it will mode you need to be configure that basis you will get what if it is the PGP traffic or yeah they are using the LCP protocol traffic. But if it is you are configuring on mode, if let's take example you are configuring on here on here, that means the Ether channel group it is defined it is configured as a manually. If you are configuring both the port or what are the range you have port, you are configuring both mode on. This is that means they are not going to be dynamically exchange their packets. So that is going to be manually you need to be say. Now you can see auto and active passive. Auto disable you are using for the PGP, passive active we are using for the LSCP. So what is means? Now let's take example. If you have desirable, the switch port will be initiate the traffic and will reply the traffic. That is comes under the desirable mode. But if in case if you are coming the auto will be only replying. Auto mode never going to be initiate your traffic. The same things if you have switch, the traffic will be going to initiate in desire mode and reply as well. But in auto mode, it will go in only reply mode. Then what will happen if you are configuring auto mode? Then ether channel will be not going to form. The same things if you're talking about the active, that is they will be going to initiate, they will be going to reply. If you comes under the passive, it is only going to be reply mode. So that means if you talk about the auto, this is comes passive, and if you talk about the active, that is comes under the desirable. Means if you have the multiple switch port, if you are configuring the mode as a desirable, that will be comes under the PGP protocol, and if you are configuring another mode is auto, that is comes under the you know that is initiate reply mail. And if you want to use the LSCP protocol, you should be define mode passive or active. Now, if we talk about the why combination successful on that is already mentioned, that is comes under the manual. You can configure desirable both the end also. That should be ether channel form. If you are configuring one switch port range desirable, other is auto, that should also working. If you configure then active mode, that should be LSCP protocol going to form and that ether channel going to form. And if you configure about the active passive, then it will also form the ether channel. But what will happen if you configure in both sides is auto, then it will ether channel will not going to be form here, and definitely will not get the result what we need. Means it will not going to be show like what are the physical link or what are the logical link form, that will be not going to happen, right? S- so what we discuss ether channel LGP PGP their mode, and what is the desirable means it will go and initiate and reply as well. Auto means it will only reply. If we talk about the active, it will be initiate and reply mode, and if it to passive, it will be going to be reply only. So that is the combination of the ether channel. Now if we coming about the switching or configuration part, this command should be we need to be utilized. Okay, let's okay. Now the theoretical part is open. The same concept we need to be focused on. If it is Cisco and non-Cisco is there, Cisco non-Cisco there. If Cisco is there, we'll be using the PGP. Cisco non-Cisco Cisco or non-Cisco is there, we'll be using the LSAP. So let's that is already we configure on mode desirable, then desirable auto active passive, sorry, and the configuration will be going to check here. So I'll be using Cisco and I already configured the port, right? Switch one, switch two. This port I'll be using. Mm, okay, and I want to use. Okay, I'll be taking the 4 link here as per diagram. I'll be taking the these things and Okay, I'll be coming here. I'll be checking. So CDP neighbor, I can see there are four which is connected to other switch, and that is connectivity already there. So I'll be going to be configuration mode, and I'll be using interface range fast Ethernet 0/124. Okay, now let's come channel group or something here. If auto, if I'm going to be auto, it comes under by default PGP. So my first, I'll be checking the PGP protocol. Then I'll be using the channel. Okay, what is the next command is there? Channel group mode. So if I'm going to here, I'll be clicking channel. Let's take cursor mark. It is asking me to group or protocol. I'll be using the group right now. Okay, channel group, then mode. Uh, it is asking me to number channel group. Okay, then I'll be using channel group mode question mark. Okay, what is happening? 1 minute. If I'm going to be channel group, and if I'm going to question mark, it is asking me to number. Okay, let's take example. I'll be going to group 5. I'll be using the mode question mark. Then it is asking me to number. I have used already number mode question mark. It is asking me to what is active auto, desirable and on. We'll be using right now. Which one you are using? PGP. If I'm coming here, PGP is auto and desirable. So I'll be going to mode desirable. Okay. Let's take exit. Exit. I'll be if I'm using it so ether channel summary. Okay, no port is showing, but it is configured PGP in only one type, but it is showing only what is the meaning? We have configured ether channel only one switch port, so we need to be go other switch using same command enable config interface range fast ethernet 0/124. Sorry, interface range fast ethernet 0/124. Then I'll be using the channel group. Which one? 5 mode. You can configure mode auto or disable as well. Now, if you are checking show ether channel summary, now you can see which port 5 port is configured as a group, and this is which protocol we are using. If we are using desirable or auto, by default it is come PGP protocol. If it is using active passive mode, then it is comes under the LACP protocol. That is means here that is already mentioned. If you configure auto here, it is by default taking PGP. If you are doing active passive, and that is by default one link aggregation protocol. And here now which configuration we have used? We have used disable auto here. So that's what the ether channel is from. If you are using the disable mode, both, then it should be going to be work as the ether channel, active passive, on, but on it comes under the manually. If you want to dynamically, you need to be select this four combination. And what will happen if you are configuring auto, because this is auto will be not going to only reply, then it will be not going to be form your ether channel. So that is the overall concept of the ether channel. And that means it is converted into what are the physical link you have, it is converted into the logical link. It can be used 8 port, and it should be, you know, the creation of the group, and you need to be mention only mode. And the same things, it is ether channel or port aggregation or link aggregation, it should be there. Now, how you will be going to be check your what is the your duplex setting here. So interface status you are checking what is showing full duplex and 100 Mbps. If not, then you can use show interface status, that all port you can see, you can able to see what is the their type, what is they are using, and where they are connected. Now we have connected only four. That means it is showing on that status of the this one. Now, if you want to be change any type of the duplex setting, you can go this port. You can change duplex, or it is showing auto, full, or half. You can change from here. Go to half, or you can already there full. Then you can use speed command. The question mark, you can use 10 100. If you have the gbps port number, it is showing the 1000. I want to be 100 mbps, that you can change. That is the overall depend for the full and of the place. So that is the ether channel you can do, and it is creating the logical group. Thank you so much for this video. And if you getting some type of the information from this video, please like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you all. My YouTube channel name is SD All in One. And now here we have completed switching part. The next topic will be going to routing, then network security, and definitely if you are going to be cloud, that would be very interesting part. And definitely we'll get some DevOps tool knowledge. Then it will be helpful. Now we have completed. Today is the lecture 10, networking 10. That is we have completed till time the basic concept and switching, and we'll be going to be a 5 to 6 lecture about the routing protocol using the EIGRP. RIP will be not going to be take, but definitely will be take OSPF and BGP. That is where that is completely uh, working each and every organization. And definitely we'll be going to go on through with some of the video for the switching IPsec and what are the SSL VPN creation. That process will be going to talk. And once this one, then we'll be focusing on the cloud part. First, we'll be taking the Azure and AWS both infrastructure, and I'll be showing the which scripting we need to be used while configure or while creating the multiple VM at the same time. So if you are getting some knowledge of this video, please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Thank you so much all.